All right, identify complementary, supplementary, vertical, adjacent, and congruent angles. Which angles are congruent to each other? All right, let's look at the definition of congruent angles. Congruent angles are two angles that have the same measure. So that means they're going to be the same size. So usually in this scenario, we're going to be looking for two right angles, but I don't see any right angles, or two vertical angles. Now remember, vertical angles are directly across from each other because vertical angles have the same measure. So that's what we're probably going to be looking for. So let's start with our first choice. Angle CED and angle GAH. No, they're not vertical angles. The vertical angle to angle CED would be angle AEB. So this first one's wrong. Angle HAF and angle EAG. Oh, that looks like that's the correct answer right there. Why is that? Because look, angle HAF is right here, and angle EAG is right here. So if you notice, they're directly across from each other. So when they're directly across from each other like that, that's called vertical angles. And we learned vertical angles have the same measure. So that means these two are the same measure. And the definition of congruent angles are two angles that have the same measure. But let's just see why these two are wrong, because you're gonna have some problems that are gonna be like select all that apply. So you got to go through all of them. Angle BEC and angle HAF. Well, they're not across from each other, so they're not the same. And I can just tell this is an acute angle, and that's looks like an obtuse angle, so they definitely can't be the same. Angle EAG and angle AEB, same thing. They're not directly across from each other, and it looks like one is they're both acute, but they're not the same. So again, the only right one is angle HAF and angle EAG because they're directly across from each other, so they're vertical angles, which means they are congruent.